Hey everybody, and welcome back to Women Carry Knives. On the table in front of us, we are going to be taking a look at the Ohlone Goat. This knife is designed by a guy named Derek Costa. It's actually his first collab under his own brand, and I believe this is really a great start. And I believe this is also built by Tuya, so you really can't go wrong there. Let's go into a little bit of the specs on this. You have an M390 drop point blade with a full flat grind and stone wash. I mean, that is just, it's just gorgeous. And hopefully we're not getting too much glare on that. You have a titanium handle with this marbled carbon fiber inlay on both sides, the show side and the lock side. Your pocket clip is just, I love it. It's incredible. Let's see if we can do a little, looking at your pocket clip, you have almost a true deep carry. I mean, you're just barely a 1/4 inch out of pocket. So this is just a fabulous, fabulous knife. I actually was able to, so for those of you who don't know, I'm actually a member of BACA, which is the Bay Area Knife Collectors Association. And at our last meeting, we happened to have Eugene Kwon show up, and that was really awesome. Well, this happened to be one of the knives that he had brought to talk about and show. And I found this knife, absolutely loved it, and wanted to know how I can get it. I know they are sold out right now, but Eugene was kind enough, we'd gotten together, a few of us just went out to dinner, and he was kind enough to bring me this knife to review, and I am so grateful that he did. This has just been, I don't even know where to start on this. This has just been an awesome knife. Now, let me tell you, I did reach out to Derek Costa just to get a little more information on the knife itself. It was interesting because he told me that he wanted to know, first of all, what was it that drew me to the knife? Well, first off, it would have to be just the design, the aesthetics of it, the looks of it. My favorite blade style is the drop point blade. And if you look at the lines on this knife, I mean, the curvature, the way that it's just so complete all the way through. Very simple. It's a very simplistic design, but yet so functional. And with the ergonomics on the handle, like I said, I really do love more of that rectangular shape, but you do have a little bit of a wider butt end on this, which is really nice. You do have jimping on your flipper tab here, so it flips like butter, and it runs on ceramic ball bearings. So if you can see that, I mean, this is just flips open so easy, so fast. It is such a fun, I've been playing with this knife since I got it last weekend. It's just been awesome. I love the full flat grind on here. And it's interesting because Eugene Kwon mentioned on his video about not having the sharpening choil. And I have to say, I have to kind of agree because I never really thought of it, but I know that I have some knives that have a large either finger choil or sharpening choil. And sometimes, depending on what you're cutting, it does catch in the choil. So you have on this one, I mean, you've got, a super thin stock, but you have a full flat grind. I don't think I'd put a hollow grind on this because I think it would make it a little more fragile, even though it is the M390. But your cutting edge is just, I mean, it's incredible. Look at the point on this. You've got a point. You've got, it comes to like almost a belly right here. Your cutting edge is the whole way. You've got 3 inches of cutting edge on this. Your handle is roughly 4 inches, and your overall length is about 7 inches. Now, this knife is 3 ounces. So, and it's exactly 3 ounces. I just weighed it a little bit ago. For the size, I would call it a smaller size. But as we've talked about with some of the other knives, due to the ergonomics on the handle and the way that the handle is done, it's going to fit larger size hands also. So my husband, Therapeutic Edge, had picked this up, and he was kind of playing with it too. And he's actually able to just barely get 4 fingers on it. But, like I said, it's the ergonomics of it really allow just about any hand shape to use this knife to get a good grip on it, to get, you know, useful. Your little bit of jimping there, like, you know, helps you, allows you to not slide up onto the blade, which I love. You've got a reverse hold on this, which is great. And the jimping on here actually gives you a little more traction. So this has been, so far, it's just been a super, super fun knife. I love the fact that it kind of reminds me, you know, he really wanted to go simple. He wanted to go simple and classy. And one thing that he had told me was, that's Derek Costa, the designer, was saying that, you know, he wanted to create, and I'm quoting verbatim, he wanted to create a knife that was eye candy to the eyes and even better when you held it or carried it in your pocket. And I have to say, I would absolutely have to agree with that. It's almost got a slip joint look to it, the way that they have this created. You know, I love how the blade is all the way down in the handle, and there is no, you know, you're not going to get your finger in there. You're not going to get stabbed by the blade. The centering on this is just awesome. It's perfect. The frame lock is easy. It's wonderful. The elegance of the marbled carbon fiber. To me, this is something that could absolutely be a dress carry. This is, because of the blade style, because of the handle, because of the ergonomics and the aesthetics of it, this is one that, you know, I've carried this a couple days in a row, and, well, a few days in a row. I would love to grab one of these and actually have it as one of my EDCs for literally every day. I would actually carry, you know, 2-3 knives every day because of how nice this is. I mean, you know, sometimes you get a knife in hand and you're just not sure. Well, like I said, I saw this and I fell in love with it in the first 5 minutes. I was sad to see it go, but so happy to have Eugene give me the opportunity to go ahead and review this knife. Now, he does a very in-depth review, and if you guys aren't following him, you absolutely need to do that. He does a lot of car dashboard reviews, which are just awesome, but he really gets into a lot of it, so more so than I even do. This is a right hand tip up carry only. It is a frame lock, which I have mentioned. Like I said, the 3 ounces is just, it's incredibly light. It feels good. I did use it to cut some cardboard. It is, I mean, it just slices through it like it's nothing. You know, I don't even know what to compare it to. It was like cutting air. It was just awesome. I think this is, I mean, if for this being his first knife under his own name, his own brand, I know that he has, in talking to him, he has a couple of more designs he is working on, and I have to say, I am really, really excited. From what I've seen, you guys are just going to be blown away by what he's even coming out with next. And I know that I absolutely have to get my hands on what's going to be coming out. I can't wait. His designs, you know, like I said, it was interesting because he really wanted to do something simple, a very simplistic looking knife. And I have to say, he nailed it, but he nailed it in such an elegant way, such a classy way. Everything about this knife, I mean, the lines of it, look at, I mean, the lines of it are just, you know, they're done so well. The symmetry of this, the fit and finish of this, everything, I absolutely love it. I know that, I believe online I was looking and he had a blue marbled carbon fiber, I believe, on this goat. They are actually currently sold out now, but by all means, please go check out his Facebook and check out his website, sign up for his newsletter. keep your eyes open, keep your eyes, watch what he's doing. I mean, Derek Costa is doing some really awesome things. And like I said, I don't, it's not on me to say what he's doing, but again, I'm very, very excited. Let me do a little size comparison for you guys here. So this is what I would call more of a medium-sized knife. This is, you know, this is a perfect size knife for my hands. Let's go ahead and check out the bug out next to it. So your bug out is just, you know, you're talking maybe 1/4 of an inch longer. So comparably, it's really a good size knife. I also have a Feldspar sitting here. So we're just kind of going all over the place, you know, with brands and whatever. Now, this is the small Feldspar, so you can see that's about the same size as the bug out. Let's see if we have a larger knife here. We have the Ontario Rat over here. So this I would consider more of a larger size knife, obviously. So if you are looking for a knife that, I mean, like I said, once in hand, I just couldn't put it down. I love the ceramic ball bearings on here. The action on this is, it doesn't quite drop shut. You cannot quite get it to drop shut. You can give it a little bit of a shake. I think for people with larger hands, they'd have to be careful because, you know, you are going to get your fingers on the lock bar. So smaller hands do make it a little bit easier to handle. But if you're paying attention, I'd say that no matter what size hand you have, unless you have, you know, really big hands, we'll call them ginormous hands, I don't think you're going to have a problem with this. So again, fit and finish, the classiness of it, the aesthetics of it, the lines on this knife, the action on this knife, I have absolutely no complaints at all whatsoever. This has even been a great fidget knife. I was driving home today, it was in my pocket, driving home today and just sitting there flipping the knife. I actually had to stop because my dog wanted to attack the noise, but you know, this is just a fun sit around, flip it, have fun with it. It is one that, like I said, I would EDC this every day. This is just, it's perfect. And you know, one of the things that Derek had asked me was, what was it that I liked about the knife? What drew me to it? And, you know, I'd have to say, to me, knives speak to you in different ways. And I think to me, this knife was, you know, this knife to me is kind of like a good friend in my hand. And it's, you know, it's a great companion. This is one that you'd want to carry everywhere. It's going to get the job done, whatever you may need. It's going to work. It's also one where if you're going out to dinner, you're going to someplace dressy, you can carry it as a dress carry. Absolutely, you know. I all around would love to grab another one of these. Now, I do believe that right now this one is sold out. And I know you guys hate it when I do reviews on sold out knives, but the reason I am is because of the fact that I am just so in love with it and because of what is coming out later this year. So like I said, I'm going to leave you a link to his Facebook and to his website down in the description. Please go check it out. He's just doing awesome things. I'll also leave you a link to Eugene Kwon's review. Like I said, it gives a very much more in-depth review. This is one that I really wanted to get my hands on and just get a... Oh, by the way, I didn't mention, I didn't notice this at first, and then I did notice it, and then I went and watched Eugene's video, and I thought maybe I was crazy, but the pocket clip is actually curved. So it's almost, it was made to, you know, to follow the lines of this knife. So like I said, everything about this knife, to me, he just did everything right. And if you notice too, on some of your blades, let's see if I have one here, you know, like on the Feldspar, for example. On the Feldspar, on the spine of your knife, it is not rounded or chamfered or whatever you want to call it. So it is, you know, a little bit sharper. That is going to bother your finger if you're one that chokes up on it. I do. So This one has just enough of a softening, just enough of a chamfer on there that it's not, it's very smooth. It's not going to bother your finger at all. Okay, you guys, that's about it for this one. One that you definitely want to be watching out for, Ohlone. This is the Ohlone Goat. You definitely want to be watching Derek Costa and Ohlone Knives to see what is coming out later this year. This is definitely designer. I am going to be following very closely, and I know for sure I'm going to be adding, you know, his knives to my collection, because if this is kind of a precursor to what's to come, I'm in. I'm fully in. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. You know I love having you here all the time. I'd love to have you, if you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you go ahead and be a subscriber. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button over there. And feel free to check out any of the other videos over there. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comments section. I love talking to you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time.